What's up, everybody? Welcome to the preview special. That's right, the preview special for the Ultimate Schmoedown Singles. Now, this is a shorter tournament, but man, it kind of isn't when you look at everything that happened with the gauntlet. So if you're joining us now and you just watch all the stuff with the gauntlet, here's how it all played out. Ben Bateman faced up against Janine the Machine. Ben took the victory. Josh McCouga, right after that match, played Lon Harris. Josh McCouga lost that match. Harris took the victory. In the same day, even though you guys watched it on different days, on the same day, Harris played Bateman. Bateman took the victory. So now Ben Bateman goes up against Clarke Wolfe in round number 1. There is that side of the division. Clarke Wolfe, Ben Bateman on that side. On top, on the same division, you have Marc Andreyko against Drew McWeeney. On the other side of the bracket, you've got dangerous Dan Murrell, the former two-time champion, going up against sassy Stacy Howard. Right underneath them, the newcomer, Chance Ellison, the Cobra from Corruption, going up against Ethan Big Time Erwin. That happened because Chance Ellison was one of those 5 names. He didn't have to compete in Gauntlet. He wound up getting the magic number, and he goes up against Ethan Erwin. I don't know how lucky that is, but he definitely got a spot there as he now goes up against Irwin. That's our tournament partner, and if you guys want to get your brackets in, it's Schmoedown Singles, Schmoedown Singles 2018 at gmail.com. Schmoedown Singles 2018 at gmail.com. Get your brackets in, submit them. Who do you think's going to win? And if the winner gets it all right, the first person to get it right is going to get themselves a nice little prize.
Thanks for tuning in. That's Kristian. I'm Marc.
Good night.
Have a great day.
Now let's get into
we're actually talking about each one of the matchups individually for round number 1. I like where your head's at. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with the first match. You have Marc Andreyko, the Android, who's having a hell of a year. He beat Ben Bateman. He won a triple threat match at the Collision. He beat Ethan Erwin, and he just lost to William Bibiani in a championship match. He did 2 victories inside of the team tournament this year. He's having a great year. Now he's going up against Drew McWeeney, also having a pretty good year. Took the championship from the Patriots, defended against the Patriots, had a nice victory, tied the team record with Breanne Chandler, had a couple stumbles, lost to Ethan Erwin, lost the team match to the Harris brothers. But still similar. It's a scary match for both guys. So you got to assume McWeeney is the favorite going into this.
I have McWeeney down as the favorite, but it is so tough to count out Marc Andreyko. Not only has he won a lot of matches, as you alluded to, he also has just produced some of the biggest moments, period, in Schmoedown history. I mean, he's a mythological figure in some circles because of what he's been able to pull out of his hat at the right moment when he needs it the most. But going up against somebody like McWeeney, I think it's just going to be too much. It's not a discount of Marc Andreyko's ability. It's just the fact that I think Drew McWeeney could very well walk into Anarchy and win the whole darn thing.
You got McWeeney winning
I
this
have
one.
Drew winning it, yes.
I can see the pick, but I'm going to go Andreyko only because I think that Marc Andreyko has played so mmany games recently, and he's just been locked in. I think the Fife Club is this tight-knit group. They do study groups together. I think that Marc has less confidence in himself than he should because he's a really good player, and that's the thing. I think he's a better Schmoedown player than McWeeney. I think McWeeney's knowledge is a little thicker, but I think that Andreyko has the knowledge to see Andreyko going and beating McWeeney.
Is it the movie knowledge? Is it the game, the inner workings of the Schmoedown game that could decide this match?
Absolutely. And then you've got on the same side his stablemate Clarke Wolfe, coming off her recent loss in singles to the champion in sudden death, Sam Levine. It wasn't a recent loss, it was a couple months back, but Sam Levine, and what a battle it was. So there she is going up against the Gauntlet winner, who is on fire right now, Ben Bateman, who just beat Lon Harris, not easy to do, and beat the Machine. So 2 straight victories for Ben Bateman, who has to win 6 total victories to take the championship. It's a tough thing, and what a tough match to go up against Clarke Wolfe in the first one.
Yeah, I got to go Wolfe in this one. I just think that she's too strong of a competitor. She's been to this dance, or she's been in high-pressure situations like this so much, and she's having a great season thus far for the most part. I think that Ben Bateman comes in. He's going to talk. There's going to be a lot of pomp, a lot of circumstance. He's going to give her a match for sure. Clarke Wolfe's walking out of this one with a W.
I don't mean to be argumentative with you, my friend, but I just think Ben Bateman's on a roll right now.
Okay.
I think that Clarke Wolfe is a legend. She's one of the best players that we've ever seen in this game, and I think that, you know, she's going to wind up seeing him in the team finals at the Spectacular, the team championship at the Spectacular. But I think Clarke Wolfe in this first battle between Who's the Boss and Shire Wolves just going to come short. I've seen Ben Bateman getting a chance to redeem himself against Marc Andreyko.
Okay, I don't see the wealth of knowledge spread across multiple genres the same way that I do with Clarke. And again, when we talk about who's going to win and who's going to lose, it's not a discount of somebody's ability.
Right.
It's just saying, hey, there's a bigger kid on the block, and I think that bully right now could be Clarke Wolfe to Ben Bateman.
Well, there's no bigger kid on the block than Dan Murrell. Dan Murrell has been the most intimidating factor.
He's like the adult on the block.
Yes.
The ice cream man.
He's been one of the most intimidating figures in Schmoedown history, and he goes up against someone he's faced in team this season in sassy Stacy Howard, someone you are familiar with in tournament play.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, you can't count her out, is my point. You cannot count out Stacy Howard. She's a great player. She's had some good moments this season. She goes up against Dan Murrell, who's coming off his only singles matches against Andrew Guy, and he's coming off a TKO loss. I see Dan bouncing back from this one. I see Dan taking out Stacy Howard here. Maybe it's a close battle, but I see Dan Murrell advancing and getting to the next round.
What am I going to count out Jack Burton? I literally can't after what happened to me, but I also think if Stacy comes in here with just it, I don't want to say that she's got a fresher mindset for how the Schmoedown works now, but Dan Murrell, I just get the feeling that he's still dusting off some of his previous abilities. I think that we will see Beast Mode Murl again. We might see it sooner rather than later. I just think that we might be in for another shock along the lines of what we saw a few months ago when Andrew Guy upset him. This is my upset special.
Wow.
I'm calling Stacy Howard, at least how I feel about it now. But again, as you probably are aware, I've been drinking a lot.
All right, so you're saying Stacy Howard taking out Dan. I'm saying Dan takes out Stacy. But then this match here, Chance Ellison, Chance Ellison.
That's the key. Who?
The Cobra. Well, I don't think anyone's saying who anymore, unless you're saying apostrophe Cobra. You know, maybe that's it. See what I did there?
Yeah, so you did that.
All right, well, anyway.
The only stable head making the ruling.
Anybody knows who he is if you watch the show. He has become this who is he character, and he proved himself in their first match against Inky and the Brain. He proved himself in the second match against the Founding Fathers, and it was just a stumble block against Who's the Boss, but the kid is for real, and he had a great match in all the matches that he played, and he got the lucky number. But again, how lucky is it that he's going up against 3-1 Ethan Irwin, who was deemed Rookie of the Year before Mark Canapa came along and looked like he was going to be unbeatable before Marc Andreyko beat him. So the only thing is that Ethan Irwin's coming off a loss here in the teams match.
It's like I trusted Ethan more than I might have trusted any Schmoedown competitor, save for the legends of the game, your Clarks, your Rochas, your Murls. But Ethan came in, and I was just like, this guy's just going to win every match. He's going to blow everybody away. I also thought the same thing about other previous newcomers who had a big impression to start out, like a Bibiani, like an Andreco, like a Drew McWeeney. And it seems to be when a competitor comes into the league, they start to get a little too comfortable, or they start to feel rested, or they just take somebody like Chance Ellison a little bit too much for granted. Chance Ellison, this kid, he comes in here. First of all, he takes my last name and he adds two other letters. Like
people
my last
thought
name
it was you.
Isn't
people thought
good
it was
enough. I don't appreciate that. Yeah. I do appreciate his movie trivia ability, and maybe this is my upset special because I just think that there's something special with this kid. I think Ethan might be overlooking him, as producers tend to do. They have a lot to control. Ellison just has to win a match.
So you're saying Ellison?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I meant.
All right.
Skunk is a drunk.
Here's the problem. I think that Ellison is great. I was the one who went out and found him to bring him in because I saw what he had done. I don't think he has the knowledge that Ethan has. I think that he's...
You're returning him. I hope you kept the receipt.
I'm not returning him. I think he's got a long future in this league. I think he's 21 years old. I think he knows a lot and more than he probably should at 21 years old.
Oh, it's disgusting.
But Ethan Irwin is a machine. He is an absolute machine. I think he's looking to get to that singles championship, and I don't see Ellison getting past him. It could be a really rough night for the kid because I think Ethan's going to...
Oh, you think he's going to rough him up pretty good, huh?
He might.
Well, every kid, I mean, again, we talk about, people come on the scene in a big way. The same could be said for Ellison, so he might be getting his comeuppance. I just think that, I don't know, I think there's something special about this kid at this time of year. I think that he edges out Ethan Irwin, but Ethan Irwin certainly would be a worthy win, and he is a threat to go all the way to the belt as well.
All right, so then on the other side, I have Andreco versus Bateman in a rematch. I'm going to go with Ben Bateman here as well. I think Bateman takes himself to the finals. I think Bateman beats Andreco, gets himself to the finals. I think that first match was a different Ben Bateman when they played, and I think Andreco will be tired by the time they get there. And I think Bateman takes it and goes to the finals.
Okay.
You've got Wolfe. You have the Fife Club exploding.
Yes, I do.
You have Wolfe versus Andreco. Who you got?
Yes, I do, and I think I'm going Clarke Wolfe again.
Wolfe. Okay, you're taking Wolfe all the way to the final.
I think she's going to go. She's going to go past Andreco.
Right.
I think this might be a relatively easy match. I think
for Wolfe.
I think that Wolfe and Andreco are great friends. You know, they, like you said, they have their adorable study sessions together, like the Babysitters Club. But I feel like Wolfe, when she smells blood in the water, it doesn't matter who it is. It could be her own young, and she's going in there. Marc Andreyko, I just don't think is coming with his A game. That's just my gut instinct.
All right, so you got Wolfe going to the finals,
Yep.
and then on the other side of it, I've got Murl versus Irwin. Just saying that gets me excited. Murl versus Irwin in a battle, and I'm going to go with the two-time champ. I'm going to say that Murl will beat Irwin, and it'll be Murl versus Bateman. I think that Murl will have the experience over Irwin, and I think that Murl will wind up going in the finals against Bateman for a chance at Rocha.
Yeah, well, you said, what did you say? A chance?
Oh, I like that. So
yeah.
you got chance going to the finals?
I took two upsets, and if you watch college basketball, which I highly encourage,
you got Chance Howard. Chance versus Stacy Howard.
Family over March Madness for some unknown reason. I go Chance v. Howard, and I think Chance takes it, and I think that he's going all the way to the finals. I'm still rectifying in my head whether I want anybody who's only 21 years old to have that much success that early on in their life, but once he gets to the finals, what will he do with it?
We'll see. I mean, so your finals, you've got Chance Ellison versus Classy Clarke Wolfe. Who you got?
The Wolfe.
You got Wolfe taking it. So you're saying
it's one thing. Look, you feel great about yourself. I know firsthand. You win an early round or a mid round when you're in a tournament setting. You feel like you can take on the entire world. It is a different feeling when you get to the finals. You look at who you're going up against. He's going to get there and he's going to be feeling great at the intro. Crowd's going to love him. They're cheering for him. They probably don't even know his name yet. And then he sits down and he sees Classy Clarke Wolfe, one of the mythological. Again, you use that word, a legendary in the Mount Rushmore, perhaps, of Schmoedown. That's a different feeling that you get, and I don't think he overcomes it.
Well, he's not going to have to worry about it because he's not going to make it. It's going to be Wolfe. Excuse me, it's going to be Murl.
This is a hypothetical matchup.
It's hypothetical. It's going to be Murl versus Bateman in the finals.
Okay.
It is going to be action, but not the action that you think it's going to be. It's not going to be a rematch. It's going to be Ben versus Murl, and Murl will take it. Murl is going to win the entire tournament, and we're going to get Rocha and Murl for part 3 at the Schmoedown Spectacular in the main event for the championship. Horsemen will explode.
Sure, and I appreciate your Ellis world that you're creating here, which I don't think is accurate, but if that is the matchup, I think it's the same thing that would happen if Chance goes against Clarke Wolfe. Dan Murrell is in the ring. Ben Bateman comes up. He's great at talking a big game. He's proven he knows a lot about movie trivia. It's going to feel different. I'm telling you right now, Ben, you're not watching this because you're too busy watching Kickboxer with your shirt off with Andrew, but I'm telling you right now, you walk in there, you see Dan Murrell, that's a different feeling than you've ever had in the Schmoedown before, if that indeed is the finals of this playoff.
Well, that's our choices. What's your choices? Go ahead. Once again, there's the email address. Send them in.
We have an email?
Yep, there it is. Send them in. And send those emails in. Who do you think is going to win? We will stop taking submissions once the first match drops at 1 o'clock on the day it's supposed to drop here too, and that first match will be Marc Andreyko versus Drew McWeeney. What a first round match that is. Yep. And it all leads up to the Schmoedown Spectacular, which is just around a month or so away. Schmoedown Spectacular, the main event. John Rocha defending the championship against the winner. Join the Patreon today. If you're not, it is patreon.com/Schmoedown. Look at all the tiers. A lot of exciting things coming up really soon regarding the Patreon, regarding the Schmoedown. Go ahead, join it. Send all your comments. We want to hear who you think is going to win, and we'll catch you next time.